Greetings and welcome to Prosperous Universe episode, I want to say 4, but it's entirely possible it's 5 because I've got a few recorded backlogged and I'm not sure how far ahead I am right now. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the game. Before we get started, this game was provided for free by the developer. Now, in the meantime, it has been a few days. This game, I haven't done anything other than some tweaks that needed to be done over the period. So nothing major has happened, but some things have completed. For example, 2 loads of carbon. Where are they hiding? Carbon. 2 loads of carbon have been completed in the meantime. From the big queue we had up there, I've cancelled this queue here. So I want to try something new. I want to see if, when this runs out, does that efficiency shoot up? Basically, if a farm is unused, does the efficiency go up? It's kind of an interesting question. Also, we don't actually have that much grain available right now, so in 16 hours we'll get a batch of 8 grain, which is enough to run 2 incinerators. But right now, we need to have both of these operational. For the next 14 days, we're not going to have that one available. Now, we've got 2 options. We could restart the entire game. Entirely optional. The developers are allowing that at the moment. Well, they're allowing it permanent, but there's going to be probably some kind of penalty for doing so in the future. But they're allowing that. We can run a command to reset and go back to anything we want in any industry in any area we want to go to. Or we keep going forward. And this is killing us at the moment. But we are working around it, so it's not a major problem. But it's hampering out. For that right now, we need a second farmstead to be making grains. Right now we can't do that, so we're kind of screwed on production right now for this. So but we can buy grains in, and we could try and build another farmstead if we needed to. But for now, we're holding our own. That being said, I think we've done our main goal. The main goal for this series was just to show the game off. But the secondary goal, the main goal of me playing the way we've been playing, has been to force the carbon prices down. They've been selling for, or trying to sell for 1,400 a unit, and that just wasn't sustainable. Everyone complaining about the price of carbon, and basically it was killing other parts of the industry. So I started making it and doing the calculations using this spreadsheet. I started doing the calculations and worked out we could make it for about 850. So we could sell it for 900. Now we wouldn't make much profit and make the game quite slow for us, but it would make the rest of the game move forward faster. And if we had to restart, we'd be restarting in a world that was faster. So it was a calculated decision. And if you look here under the carbon order book, there's 4 units going for 900, and there's 8 units going for 890. We have done the job. We have managed to bring the carbon prices down by basically embarrassing everybody else and selling our carbon off constantly, which I think is good. Now, first thing I want to do here is look at what we completed on our order list. So in this order list here, we have sold our 2 carbon at 900. Let's delete that. We have sold the excess hydrocarbons that we couldn't use for 100 each. We have purchased 20 rations at 140, and we have sold the 4 carbon at 900. Perfect. We also partially purchased our drinking water, and if you look here, our satisfaction is down, and according to the population list, the reason our satisfaction is down to this line here. Our staff are not happy about the fact they don't have drinking water, so we should go buy some drinking water. Now I was hoping to get that drinking water down to about 100, but it never came down that far, but it did come down to 119. Now that's a bit higher than what it was at 109, but this person bought it all up. Now what I'm guessing here is, you look at who's selling carbon at 900, where we were. Now this Atomic Industries, they turned up more recently, but Navara Corporation, they turned up, they were selling at 1,400, 1,300, and now they're selling at 900. So they've taken their 1,400 stock and they've downgraded to 900 into our price bracket. At the same time, they've appeared in the drinking water directly at 109 when the drinking water was selling for 110, even though we were the highest bidding price at 100. My guess is that they popped in and said, hey, we're going to make sure you can't get really cheap materials, because your cheap materials are what's kind of making you able to do stuff cheap. So yeah, I think we've got someone there trying to jump us a little bit. Independence Group's kind of annoying. They're selling stuff at literally 1 cent below the market maker. Wish people wouldn't do that. It's a bit of a dickish move, really. But we need to buy some anyway, so let's get some ordered. We need to order 8 units, and we'll pay 120 for the maximum. There we go. We now have purchased some water. We should now have 8 units in. Now, where's the one? There we go. That should restore our satisfaction to full. It has indeed. Good. Let's get rid of that off the list. We can also get our carbon up for sale as well. We might as well sell it all immediately. Sell the carbon, and we'll sell it at. Let's sell it for $8.90. We can sell it at the same price they're selling it. There we go. I don't see a reason why we can't go that bit lower. We've been making pretty decent prices on purchases. But we do have to make an alteration at 119.99. That's a stupid price. But the water has been at 120. The rations were purchased at 140. Okay, so that makes our manufacturing cost right now 883. So we are good right now to keep selling it as long as it's above 883. Now at 890, it's not fab 883, but it is still a profit right now. So I'm happy to keep it there for now, and hope some people buy up some carbon, and that'll get things moving forward. Unfortunately, in 2 days' time, we're going to produce some much carbon, and we're not going to have enough for that. No, we will actually have enough for that. Yeah, okay. So we're not going to have enough carbon to keep grains to keep going. So I'm going to have to actually plop in another set of grains anyway. Let's pop those in there. Let's make a batch of 4. 11 hours. You know what? Make it a batch of 2. Boop. There we go. It takes a bit longer, but it means it will produce what they need to complete off, basically. So those 2 are doing now. That one there, 2 units of carbon. It will produce. It'll take that group, and then there'll be 8 more coming in. So that'll be another batch of 2. That uses grains. That'll be you. Boop, boop. And then that one there should produce enough for another 2. Boop, boop. There we go. All queued up and ready to run. Excellent. So we've placed our sale order. We've got our partially filled water. I'll keep that in stock because it is useful to keep it around at all times. I'll keep the clothing off, and it might bring people in, although no one's making clothing right now. And that is all we have to do there. Over here, we've been informed that we have made our sale. Good. Our production's been done. That's very good. And then here we have a new resource extraction expert has been about. Ooh, a resource extraction. Well, yes, activate you. Activate. Why you don't activate straight away? I don't know. That gives a 3.6% boost on our resource extraction, which is you. So now they take 1 day 17 hours to complete. Right. Okay. 1 day 17 hours. Let's modify our spreadsheet really quickly. So 1 day 17 hours is our actual production time now. We're still at 880 because it was not updated from before. The reason why it was before, we had 113 and there was a project in place on the planetary thing. If I can find the planetary board. Diaku, thank you. And the Chamber of Global Commerce, that's the one I wanted. Here, so we had this in place, the education system in place, and it was basically bumping up production speed by 10%, I think it was. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, a 10% bump in production speeds. You can see we voted on it as well. Everyone voted on it. But for it to work, we have to supply these materials, and that's just not going to happen. The reason being, well, we don't make any of these. So we just buy it in and then contribute it, which is not a major issue overall. We could do that if we were making more profits. The problem is that these are, drinking water is now 120 a unit. They're 40 a unit and 175 of them. They're, I don't know how much they cost, but there's 75 of them. Then the rations are currently going for 100. They want 60 of them. And solar panels. Now solar panels are actually where the problem occurs. They're expensive. I mean, if you actually look at them, solar panels, they want 2 solar panels to run that. So if we go and look at our market, and we'll use this one over here, construction materials one. Switch that to electronic devices. SP. Not in there. Electronic parts, maybe. SP. They're 4,000 each. So they want someone to spend 8,000. Back to there, please. They want someone to spend 8,000 providing solar panels to get a 10% boost in production across your entire industry. And all your competitors benefit from it as well. I'm not sure anyone's going to put up that amount of money. We don't really have that money to spend on something like that. We don't make that much money spare. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be a usable long-term solution. Especially since the current guesses, as you see down here, we think we need everything. So if we can provide all the other stuff, but if it doesn't require solar panels, then kind of screwed. Anyway, so today we've got the carbon set up. We've got the next set of production up and running in you. I wish I could sell these ships. By the way, we've named the ships. The Community Cannibal Troll Network has named its vessels the Community Cannibal Good Eats and the Community Cannibal Nibbles, or CC Good Eats, CC Nibbles. So thank you, Anastasia, for authorizing those names. By that I mean say no, and then me doing it anyway. I mean, I showed you me typing them in earlier, I'm guessing, but yeah, fun. All right, let's have a look at what we have. Let's look at what we have everywhere else to do. They're all checked out. The chat is done. We've placed you and you. I should get some more clothing. We have 4 days worth of clothing, 3 or 4 days worth of clothing. 3 days of rations, 1 day of drinking water. I think we're okay overall. I could buy in some more grain because I believe someone's selling grains. Thank you. I believe somebody is selling grains at 200 a pop, and there's not that many. It's not that bad. It's a good price actually. You know what? We could buy some of those in for 800. There we go. Buy some of those in for 200. And buy 8 of them. Yeah, that's 2 production runs. There we go. That'll help them out. It helps us out a little bit in the future. It does bring our cash down to below 10k now. But that's not going to be a problem if we sell the... Get rid of that one. If we can sell the carbon. Because that will really that'll work really well for us. But I want to ask you a very serious question now. Because this series is going quite well. I'm enjoying it, and you guys seem to be enjoying watching it. Here's my question. Do we continue on with our current model of trying to get in... Now we've got the carbon prices down, which is really good. Do we try and get in here and keep pushing and keep expanding and do the stuff we're doing? Or... And by the way, that might make the episodes a bit longer apart because we're currently holding about 9k in the bank and we need to make that 40k before we can do anything big and impressive. Or do we go and look for a different area? Now the options are, I'm going to give you the options here. We can start in one of the other sectors. So there are other sectors and they're actually busier than our sector for trade. And I think we've actually helped push this carbon down so it might help build this sector up as well in the long run. But to give you an idea of how the other sectors are working. There we go. If we look at Prometer, look at your carbon prices. They're selling for 1,666 at the best price. Look at that. There's a lot of people producing carbon in Proxima. But what there isn't, the East India companies there. Nice reference there. A lot of people producing carbon, but expensive carbon. And a lot of people paying quite a large amount for carbon compared to what we're paying here. I mean, our highest price is below their lowest bid. So, you know, more trade is happening over there than is happening here. Now the question is, do we go into carbon? Do we go into growing of stuff? What's the stuff like over there? Agricultural products. Look at that market. That market is way better than our market for materials that are being grown and supplied. But that's just one. I mean, we can find stuff out later on. Basic consumables. I mean, they are also different currency. They're the ICA currency. See, drinking water's at 95. Wow, their prices of water is really low. What is your supply of water like? There's not much of it in there, but there's a lot. The price is quite low. Huh. Trial and error ink. Nice. I like your name. People are making clothing over there? No one's making clothing over here. Jeez. But yeah, then we've got the... Oh, we've got one more over there. There's drinking water, clothing, and rations. 176 for rations. We have 105. Okay, so our rations are cheaper over here. Oop, thank you. And then we have the fuels. Is anyone actually making fuel? There's a lot of people selling fuel. And they're selling it for better than the 500 that's up there. So yeah, there's definitely a, why would you do that? It's a risk. They'll take it. I put a penny on it at least. Yeah, so there's things happening around the galaxy. Where we are seems to be one of the quieter areas. Now I have no problem staying here and just trying to make it over here. I think we can do that. Put that one. Yeah, MCG's at 34. People actually making stuff over there. Nice. So we can either move to one of these other planets with a new company and either jump into the same industry or a different industry. I'll make the determination what we're going to do with them. But I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you want us to jump into a new industry, or jump to a new planet, or keep on going with what we have right now? Because we've expanded a fair bit, but I think we're kind of hitting a natural stagnation point for a short while, and we might need to put a little delay on the next few episodes to be able to build up some cash reserves to do anything. But let me know what you think about that, and we can do that stuff. So that's our next step now, is just to look at what we're going to do next. They're all stocked up. They're stocked up. Yep. I wish I could tell if we had half a unit there or not. 5 units. Pioneer Club. It doesn't actually tell you what you've got left in stock, which is kind of annoying. There we go. Alright, so that's fine. Done. What's your efficiency back up to, by the way? 59% efficiency. So I'm wondering if we actually, you know what, I'm going to cancel that. And I'm going to wait for 11 hours. And I'm going to come back off camera and see if this production efficiency goes from 59% any higher. Just to see if it goes up. Because I don't know if it does go up or not. And we'll find out. It might be that it's more worth it to let that expire and let these efficiency go up and just buy the grains from that company selling the grains, because they're selling at 200 per unit and we're making them at 258 per unit. So currently it's actually cheaper to buy it from them. That might be a long-term solution. Buy it from them, pump out carbon, delete these 2 buildings, just pump out carbon, buy it from them, and be done with it. But that's a risk that they could stop supplying or put their prices up, so we have to make a decision on that one. Anyway, let me know what you think about the other things, the moving planet, the changing industry, keeping us going, all that kind of stuff. But until next time, comments in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!